don't see the counter counting down. There it goes. 6, 7, 8, 9. So, start to make a video here. Should be no sneaky people there since the guy next door is apparently leaving. Well, I recorded an hour and 20 some odd minute audio while I was trying to make a video from my iPad. There's a problem with my iPad. It keeps freezing up on video and shutting down and stuff like that. So it froze up and shut down twice. I got a video for 8 minutes 22 seconds. It said it froze at 9 minutes and 40. And then another one for 2 minutes 32 seconds, and it said it froze at 4 minutes and some odd seconds. So I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if we can play a video here and see what happens. Okay, let's see what we can get. Set backwards. Here's a nice comment. It's a good waiting a piece. This is waiting approval. Trying to hold this one in, close the door. Oh yeah. Camera and we'll record it in place. Recording audio. See if I can do this video that my iPad crashed. Sure. Personal log or a message here. But it was, wow. You are the one that needs serious help. I tell this person, okay, this person comes around, they get messages all the time, every day, 2 to 3 times a day, right, or more. You're so amazing. Hey, girl, how are you doing? All that, like, compliments, but, like, it's unbelievable how, like, normal kind of stuff, right? Like, you know, what is this? He preys on others like pedophiles do to children and self-projectionary physical himself on others. I'm the one that was using the little projection thing on the trolls, right? Because they would tell you, just like something happened in the really good stuff. Psychological projection is kind of really cool because you can just get people not purposely mostly done, but because whatever they feel about themselves or something like that, you wish their power meetings, right? So 666 misogynist can figure out the video. Because this person, like I said, did I say I tried to take a screenshot of my folder? It's called We Are Done. Okay, let me just go on the screen. And this one's dog, folder, property. Oh, come on. Let's do the properties. You can get this into properties. Folder 63.1 megabytes. We Are Done. Folder was created on the 8th of May 2016, 3:24 a.m. So the folder was already created. We Are Done. This person got up here. We got 8 text files of their messages. That's hurtful. Oh yeah, there's the one. That's hurtful. Call that asshole a bitch. Women are bitches. A vegan terrorist is a hero. Something to say to a former soldier. A terrorist is a hero. You're cool. Here's my message on the true colors. It's a private message. Oh, I'm sorry that I misunderstood. This is them the other day. I thought you were just calling some random lady. See, these messages have been removed and this was sent privately. I was just joking with the terrorists or heroes. I didn't mean literally that they should kill people. I didn't know if you were calling it that would be funny or if you were being serious. I'm also a good person. We exterminating pedophile with a smiley face. Ooh, waiting for an answer to get blocked. Let me just see if I got the right one. How do I say that? Sometimes the basic information person's page. I swear, thank you. You know that I instantly appreciate your admirable and inspiring personal capacity. You are right. Whatever. Listening too much. I'm really sorry. I wish I had not written that joke with you and everything. Thank you infinitely again for everything. It was life changing and helped me unlike anything else. I just hope you know how much I appreciate the time you spent to help me. Your kindness, generosity, thoughtfulness, honesty, and your courage to share everything you know despite every previously secret. Having said that, I try to ruin your life. Only a special, exceptionally strong type of person would do that. I wasn't even planning on this. This is just that I found this thing out of the market. Most people are too scared to show the vulnerability or share their intelligence, but something in return. I never lose my time using things against good people or intentionally trying to hurt to my better choice. Something seriously wrong with my life is for another person. I'm sorry that you never have. I'm sending you infinite love, hugs, kisses, and wishing you a happy day every day. I don't even know you. Just come to my channel and you start saying, do I have any other records? I got some else. I say, could you please stop like calling me hero and superhero and all these other weird things? Could you please stop? I don't like particularly like it. Oh, come on now. It's okay. No, I don't like it. Talk to me. Let's be cool. Look, I'm just doing it. This is kind of thing. Just paraphrase. So, anyways, day 215, the person's channel. Here's the this is from my video. This was April, May 2016. So this person comes and posts a message. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. He posts a message. And I'm like, that's her. We're close. I don't remember saying anything that was the person's acting like a bitch or something. I don't usually do that. I just got off the phone with the police too. And then I got records for months and months and even the last couple of years. How I'm always going on about the men hating cult. Request you talking in the videos. I'm going on about this men only cult, calling the RCMP. I love talking to the female officers saying, you know, hey, I think it's kind of crazy that there's a fake religion that thinks you got your menstrual cycle from an angry god, right? Then this person's page here, they used to have a name, love something. I got a screenshot. Something. Because well, thank you infinitely, champion. You are fast and extraordinarily brilliant as always. Hey, genius, I wanted to get back to you for a bit today. And apparently the video has ended. It went on. They kept talking for like another minute or so because it showed on the iPad that the camera was going, the light was still flashing, but the video ended. I started recording again, so I'll get to this one here. It's backwards. Okay, so I'm going to try and film again. What the hell? I'm going to try and film again on my iPad. some reason the iPad froze up almost 10 minutes into the video and then it wouldn't respond, and then it shut itself down, and then it tripped out, restarted. I'm still recording on my other video, so I'm trying to read some of the messages. Because the person who sent the message, and I'm like, why the hell? I'm still recording on my other stuff. Everyone in the world is poison statistics like that, except that the people control secretly poison others like pedophiles to determine some projects are good with the knowledge of sources using my line for feeding associated with the channel that I share with others so that other people take that flavor by that. And I was from his sick abusive rant. He wrote to me, which is down below here, which is like stop bowing down to your word and the comments zero genius and Mr. Supreme. And I was like, holy Christ, stop it. I said, this is some kind of setup or something like this. Whatever. And he obviously enjoys hurting others. If you're talking about comments and controls, tell people that the special material or the actual requested material, or to stop, blaming women for their period from an angry God. And if you're talking to me, talking to trolls, who cares? I tell trolls that I'm gonna saying don't feed the trolls, and I'm like, I don't feed the trolls. I shove their shit back down my throat and make them choke on it. Got a problem with people who hate others, and somebody that stands up to them. Reading them when they're the ones that come to me. And I say, can you answer my grade 5 science question? Fuck you, grade 10. Fuck you, conspiracy fire. Bullhead. Everybody at the down the street has different stories. I told them about this day before. This person was really won't stop complimenting me. I asked them to stop complimenting me, talk to me like a normal person or something. And they get all offended and try to play a guilt trip on me, and they won't respect my decisions. I have never had the horribly hurtful feelings, which is down below here. Why are animals? Okay, I suppose that's the end of that one, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I asked, why do animals eat meat? And they sent me something before that, actually, saying it was claiming it. Okay, I can remember these things, even though I went on for an hour and a half on an audio recording, and I probably would have recorded maybe an hour long, almost a 45-minute long YouTube video, but it kept cutting out. My iPad can't record videos, it just randomly shuts down for some reason. Doesn't matter how much space is on the iPad or what, it just won't record videos anymore. So this person, I say, stop complimenting me. You're showing up. Like, who sent you? Why are you here? You come around, sneaking around. You're attached. Like, you seem like you're attached to maybe my ex, who's like a vegan thing or something. You make comments like my last video before this one starts off with talking about, like, how can you misinterpret the entire video and be like, oh, I thought you were just talking. Like, you're so full of crap. How do you misinterpret my last video that's talking about my personal life that I shouldn't be talking about, but it's not for you anyways? Who are you and why are you trying to get so close? And you didn't understand a video that was only, like, I made specifically for my son, but also as a testimony of what I believe are crimes that have been committed in my life repeatedly for decades, and 20 years later, these people call me up and try to continue to perpetrate this sickness, which is an action that I consider to be providing aid and comfort to terrorists and war criminals and crimes against humanity, as well as directly focused at a former soldier. And then they're so arrogant that they don't know that I already know every tactic they're going to use before I even go look up and find out about the narcissistic psychopathy. I was speaking to my son last year, and he was doing all these really psycho mind games and trying to play weird shit. And I recorded every second of it because I'm just trying to defend myself. And then you're going to try and, I'm like, you're not going to answer questions. You're going to act like a fool and be offensive and abusive. Then you got to go. Like, stop it. Okay, so he kind of tries to stop, but then he goes and feels sorry because he says that his mother isn't too bright, and he says she's going to be alone for the rest of her life, so he moves closer again to try and hang around. Then the next thing I know, he's talking weird stuff on the phone, and he starts all over again. I say something about maybe you should change your number or something, and then he takes it as a wrong way. Maybe to protect him. I'm trying to protect him from other people or something. And I'm like, no, I wanted you to maybe change your number so that I wouldn't be able to call you or be tempted to call you and try to resolve things, because I have this, feeling or had a feeling and a need to try and resolve things and to try and, fix things or make our relationship better and everything. And I didn't seem to think but it's just a game. Those people seem to sit around and just enjoy trying to mock and harass and taunt and do the gaslighting tactics and all this other stuff. And I'm just trying to, figure out why you're doing it and seeing if you can stop doing it, and you're not gonna. So, and I might be tempted to call you and everything. And no, don't worry. I got rid of that feeling. So it doesn't matter. I'm, even though I got a partially photographic memory or eidetic memory in a way, I'm blocking it. I'm programming myself to block it. So anyways, this person sends me some things that they claim is Agenda 21, and I can't get to it now. I should have took some pictures maybe on my iPad so that I could read it off. But it's talking, and it's not written in proper English. I just watched a show last night, QI. I watched a couple episodes before I went to sleep for a while. I watched a couple episodes, and they were talking about the one where the Nigerian scam artist, and they pick on victims that aren't too intelligent. They purposely misspell things in their messages or their scam because they want to focus. And even the guy in the show, you could go look it up yourself, said it was especially cruel because they're purposely focusing on people that aren't that smart or well educated and can't differentiate between the correct spelling of words, and so they just reply to the scam or something like this, right? And so this medical thing that this person sent me, apparently chapter 11 from the Agenda 21, is about how all proteins are not processed by the human body, and eggs, fish, and every single thing that has to do with a meat or an animal or a living being is no good for the human body, can't be processed, turns into carcinogens. And I noticed two improper grammatical statements. I noticed two spelling mistakes, and and I tried to Google it, and I couldn't find anything to do with this. I went to their link that had to do with some guy from India that was like a pseudo-scientist, fake doctor kind of thing, and I'm just talking about the most pathetic, basic stuff that just isn't right. And wow. And so then I tried to Google the actual chapter 11 of the Agenda 21, and it's about deforestation. It has nothing to do with biology or food. It's talking about trees. So what the hell? Who the hell are you? What is your problem? Really? Okay, then I find out that you hate. You typed a message. I can't read it. I have the copy of the screenshot of the message and the text. How you hate your brother. And I remind you of your brother because your brother used to hold you down and choke you, and that your parents are Nazis. I told this to the guy at the store 2 days ago. that this girl sent me a message that I found her to be extremely disturbing. And she sent me a message about how her parents were doctors and Nazis. And the guy was like, face palm or head slap, like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, man. She's doing, and then like just constantly, hero, champion, you're the best. Oh my goodness, love and kisses, hug, 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 XOXO, heart, 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 heart. You're 34 years old, you claim. There's something possibly wrong with you. Your Google page has pictures from the 8th of May, no, the 6th of May, 2 days before, 3 days before some of this. From the 6th of May, how about some PDF women who love men that hate women and men who abuse women and the women that love them and all, like, holy, the title itself was just like schizophrenic. And you're posting these messages, you're looking up pseudoscience crap. You got apparently no other friends or something, like, holy crap, your messages like 6 times a day, not 2, 3 times a day. You won't stop. I'm apparently the only person in your life. It's like a crazy Elvis fan chasing me down the street, ripping my clothes off. Holy, I don't want to say the guy's name because I just saw in the news yesterday. He's not posting any more fan or photos with fans because he feels like a zoo animal. You are disrespecting me. You are latched on and you just won't stop. You come around doing the same thing because there's one after the other. I was telling this to the guy at the store 2, 3, 4 days ago, even before some of this. I was telling him about the person and how these people come to my channel. I give them the benefit of the doubt, even though I don't buy it, because there's nobody else that comes to my channel. My channel is restricted. Nobody gets to see things. I can't send videos to anybody. I called the RCMP, and the very next day, the search results were totally changed. And where am I? This was a month or no, a year ago or something. But damn, I don't know. See, the thing is it's there. I can just like rewind for a few seconds. A viewer would be going, "You're talking about that, man," but you're turning this into thought into the past now. Anyways, yeah. So like, wow. I was telling somebody something, but oh yeah, because these people show up, they latch on to me, they pretend to be all friendly. Hey, how's it going? Tell me about this. Tell me about this. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Tell me about this. Like, come on, you think that I'm that stupid? Really? Because just because I play along, my name is Psyops Agent. What do you think I am going to do? I'm gonna play along, even if just to feel you out, to find out if you're legit, to get you to screw up, to get you to whatever. And you're trying to do the same to me. You're trying to find out something or whatever. You don't think I know that? One after the other for like years, like 4 years, one after the other. Like the guy with the trying to do the language thing. Oh no, this buddy's code doesn't match, and your code that you found from Dennis Fetch was just perfect. Here's this, and this code doesn't match by the other, whatever, McLion guy. His code doesn't match at all, and this code is perfect. And then I know you're full of crap. Then you snap one day going, "You're a killer. You're just like everybody else. You're just like them. You know it. Inside, we're all the same. We're all killers. We're all crazy. We're all..." I'm like, holy shit, buddy. Right? I think I was recording this. I'm not going to say his name now or whatever, but this was like a year and a half ago. And then he's like, "No, your code is crap." It's not my code. And no, it's not crap. How many people on the street just in the last 2 weeks are like, wow. And then somebody in this game that I play, another apparently a full-time reserve soldier, I tell them this 2 days ago, they're like, oh, wow. And then I give them some other short explanation, and they're not like you. This is the funniest part too, because I never even told them about this person. And the next thing I know is like I tell them something else, and I'm like, okay, now take this and think about this, and then add this, and they put the pieces together themselves, and then all of a sudden there was a pause, and I could feel the flash of light come through the computer, and then they just typed OMG. That's it. First it was OMG, then another short pause, then another. That's it. That's the answer. It's so simple. It was there all along. They started typing these sentences, and I'm like, yep, there you go. Yep, yep. And I'm just sitting there taking screenshots or whatever, going, this is cool. And they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Do you know what this means? And I'm like, yep. And they were just tripping up. Then they're like, okay, I've come down now, it's so cool, but wow. And I'm like, yep. And so I'm like, you're okay with this now? And, yeah, everything. I can't believe it. It was so simple. It's right there, but you don't see it, and it's there the whole time. And I'm like, yep, hidden in plain sight. Isn't it cool? Wow, I can't believe it. This is awesome. I'm like, yeah. So, and then they were like, the rest of the world finds this out. This is going to change everything. And I'm like, yep. And then time passes and we're just talking about other stuff. And actually, someone famous showed up in the game, and I like walked past me or something. And I was like, hey, I think the like super famous guy just walked past me. I sent a message to the person, and they were like, really, the like so and so, and I'm like, yeah. I'm pretty sure I just like examined them and like they had the real 100% name and their skills, everything. I'm like, I think that was him. Whatever. And then we talked briefly, and I say, whatever, because I wasn't saying anything specific, but I was just insinuating that, you know, it was kind of, that's kind of cool. Hey, oh, look at that, Elvis, how you doing? He's not alive or something. Someone goes, hey, what's up, buddy? Because I know I'm not like how many fans a day, you know. Do you know what my question? I went to the bank once. There was a guy who had a little name tag. He was probably screwing with me or something, but for real, his name tag said Jackie Chan. And all I said, I didn't go like, because I already know. I'm like, I'm not going to be like everybody else and go, hey, did you know your name? And I go, all I said to him was, how many people? And he goes, all of them, except you. I didn't even finish the sentence. Okay, so I I know I'm not gonna chase Elvis and rip his pants or his clothes or his shirt or can I have a piece of your hair? Really, really super amazingly hot, beautiful girl. I'd be like, if the circumstances presented itself and it was okay to like not just walk up and go, excuse me, would you mind if I have a hair sample, a piece of hair, just pull one hair out of your head and I'll save your DNA to possibly clone you. No, I'm not gonna. But wow, this person wouldn't stop, right? And I'm like, come on, take it easy. Respect me. Don't talk to me like this. Oh, I can talk to people any way I want. Yeah, I guess you can, but I'm asking you not to flatter me because there's something really disturbing about this. I had these people come around, you come around, no one else comes around. You're trying to do the same thing. How do I know you're not somebody like that? How do I know you're not an agent? How do I know after all the stuff that I just had go through with my ex, and then all of a sudden you appear with a name about love and happiness and peace to all, and then the next thing you know, you change your name to kill the pedophiles. And I'm like, hey, what happened there? And you said you typed an explanation, but it wasn't a really good one. And so that's another reason not to believe you. And then how can you love pedophiles and people and exterminate them and kill? And I'm like, and so I sent you a message asking you about the law. I had to reading these things. What does the law state? Should they go to trial? Who makes the decision to kill someone? I don't think that's kind of cool. Then I made a comment in my recording about drones killing people in a trial or something like this. What are you, anti-drone now or something? Why do you hate the drone? And then she made comments about you hate your mother I've never talked about my mother. The only thing if I ever said about my mother was she's the finest woman that ever lived. I say that all the time, everywhere I go, not like every day or all the time, but if it comes up, and then I say, especially Mother's Day just came by, so what? See, there you go. That's why I probably took a shot because of Mother's Day. Trying to think of that. I was just thinking about that the other day because someone called me 2 years ago on Mother's Day, and then they were like trying to be really offensive and abusive and freaky and everything, and I'm like, get lost, dude. What are you? Who are you, crazy person? Or something? Fuck you. And then you touch your mother with that mouth. My mother would have patted me on the back, you know. And I go to people and I say, I don't care. This is a tagline of mine. I go, I don't care if your mother was to you the greatest person in the world. My mother was the finest woman that ever lived. What? How do you get I hate my mother out of that? So you're taking shots. You okay? I said the point about how I hate my sick brother and all this, and my parents were Nazis. So you remember seeing. So yeah. Anyways, look, I just deleted your messages, but you created another channel 2 days later, or you had this channel because it's completely blank. There's intent here. The channel is completely blank. You're hiding your identity. Not me doing it as a former soldier, not exposing myself or something or whatever. Here, there you go. How you doing? That's it. But you don't get to see anything else, and you don't get to know my personal, my private, whatever what I'm called, the name of my corporation or whatever. And you don't get to know my birthday, and you don't. And somebody will probably try to create a fake channel if they have these things in post or something. You don't get to know my address. You don't get to know my bank account number. You don't get to know nothing. Because this is the internet. And this is PsyOps agent. It's not, it's an extension of me or an avatar. It's not exactly me. And yes, I created the joking term avatar identity crisis because, you know, after this, I'm going to go play another character, an avatar on a game probably. And then I can be myself later on this afternoon. This is me, but I'm just being PsyOps agent too. It's a character. But it's also become a bit of a lifestyle and possibly even a monetized channel or something like this. So if you try to take any other steps here, you know, whatever. Eventually, I don't. I'm a guy that likes to throw the wrench in the squeaky wheel kind of thing, or oil the squeaky wheels. Okay, so I don't think you're gonna get very far, but it makes me kind of a little uh, nervous or something because you know you just don't be doing anything silly. Don't be making false claims or stuff like that. You know, because you, unlike me, didn't take all the screenshots and save like just about every record of your chat since the beginning. I think I do have, like, just for the sake of the conversation, because you ask a question which is intriguing. I've told this for weeks down the street to this guy Adam. His name is. You want to go talk to him? That's fine. Seems like the other guy was co-opted, but that one of them anyways. And the other guy, another guy, is finds me to be some type of threat because he's trying to whatever work some girl who doesn't really like him, but at the same time, you know, whatever. And then he's gonna try to bust my nuts for some. And I'm just a customer at the store. I don't need. I'm gonna go. I told him half yesterday, and I didn't have that time with other people coming in. But I'm gonna try and finish up today. You know, go. Hey, you want to play a game? Don't be pissed off. Don't take this personal. I'm gonna win. But yeah. So when are you leaving for your trip? And how many hookers do you want to visit when you're there? Because he's the kind of guy that does this. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Did I tell you? Oh, I made also a recording talking about how I was when I was 11 or 12 years old, around 12. I walked a girl to school. And then, and see, I made a comment about this, that people that have claimed to be RCMP or other types of agents or whatever, CSIS guy or something, agent or something that sat down, but they've made these claims. I'm not just randomly saying this, but people have said they've been sent or associated with these groups or people or other things like this, so who knows? But they openly, even a couple cops on the street or something in different places, have laughed and giggled and found it really cool in a sick way that when I was 12 years old, I used to walk this girl home from school from time to time. And one day I walked her home from school, and the next day, the night before, after I walked her home from school, I thought about, I may ask this girl to, what was it, back, on TV or something, will you go steady with me? Or something like that. I don't know, something silly like that when you're a kid. And I didn't see her the next day. I didn't see her the next day. I didn't see her the next day. Thought she might be sick. She had a brother who passed away the year before. I remember her name. I had a guy that recently came to my channel and got the wrong name, called me the wrong name, which is a good thing. You remember me from whatever, Saskatchewan? Whatever. He was a really psychotic kind of religious guy that would talk about not watching, you can't watch TV, and all these things are bad for you. But every day he would pound back a Mickey of vodka and pretend he thought he was Moses because he was like short, bald, and he had a really long beard. And he actually started thinking he was Moses. And he would like start preaching the Bible while he's pissed drunk on vodka. And then I would go out somewhere. I had to stay at this motel, and then there was somebody else paid for the room, but then this guy came and stayed in the room apparently because somebody else was renting the room, so I had to, share, I guess. And I would go out and I'd come back and he'd have the door locked and the TV going. And then I would come in and I'd try to open the door, and I couldn't get in again. I had to knock, and he'd shut off the TV and hide the remote. And I'm like, I go in, I'm like, I totally know what you were doing. It's like, are you serious? What's going on? And then I just got fed up with him preaching, yelling, and screaming, and condemning me to hell, or saying he said that girls, if a girl or a boy is laying, I'd use the girl to try and be more sympathetic or emotional. If a little girl was across the street, she had a broken leg, would you help her? And he said no. I'm like, are you serious? You'd let this girl die or something like this? She could die. Yeah, I would let her die because that would be God's will. I'm leaving, buddy. I grabbed my stuff, I went across the street, and I paid my own hotel room. Then he tried to taunt and tease this girl that I was talking about a couple minutes ago. He was sailing in a rowboat or a canoe down a river that you probably can't sail in or nobody ever goes in or something like this, in a lake. It was a lake or something. It's actually a lake, but there's a river that might be attached to it. And he said he saw her ghost. Out of nowhere, he was telling me these weird stories, and he tried to contact me a couple of weeks ago or a month or something ago. I didn't even see the message show up. He got my name wrong. So I was with this girl for a couple of weeks or something, and I'm in the kitchen one day, and my mom was reading the newspaper and says, "You knew this girl, didn't you?" I said, "What girl?" And my mother tells me the story. But she didn't know that I'd walked her home a couple of times, and I was the guy that walked her home the last time. And then after that, she went out that night and ran into a guy down the street from me, who I remember his name, because his brother was in my classes, and he was a year younger than his brother, and he ran into him and some other guy, and they ended up taking her somehow down to this lake, and they beat her, and they raped her, and they killed her, and then they dumped her body in the lake, and they put concrete blocks on top of her so that her body couldn't be found. Eventually, it floated up, and when she was gone, people went looking or something, and so maybe it floated up, or maybe somebody went and dragged the lake, and they found her. And then my mother told me the story, and she didn't realize, and I just kind of remained silent and went to my room. And I know what lies inside of men. You don't know me at all. I think you are absolutely fucking sick, and you have been damaged, and you need to be repaired. You need therapy, or you need to just fuck off away from me. That's nice. And if I tell you that there's something wrong with you because your behavior is extremely disturbing and you are very accusative, and I want you to go away, then you go away. You don't create another channel and hide and then block your Google Plus channel, which I couldn't get to no matter what I could try and block you, because your messages for some reason still appear, and they've disappeared from my video, but when I look from a different source, it says there's 3 messages. I posted a test message, but it says there's 3 messages and I don't see the other 2. But when I open and look at the message indicator on Google at google.ca, your messages are still there. And when I block someone, they disappear. And in the top little right corner, there's a Google Plus symbol, and I can't click on it or do anything to get to a Google Plus thing, because that would block you from both angles. But your channel that you either may have created now as a new channel or an old channel that you are now using, which I figured a couple days ago you would probably come back with another channel. It has nothing on it, just the little arrow to block, unblock, report, and that's it. There's no, and a subscribe button, I think. But other than that, there's no discussion, no videos, no about. It just goes to a blank section, the blank channel with 0 subscribers and everything. And something about people, a quotation about people that want to, be good and change the world or something, shouldn't be unethical or continue abusive, unethical behavior. Hypocrite. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, when trolls show up and do the most absolutely psychotic, abusive things, I'm just playing with them. I'm getting them as a former soldier, as someone who has studied martial arts and read Sun Tzu's Art of War, and who understands a little bit of some psychology. I'm getting them to give me everything that they got. They worship me and they want to come around, and you take the most flack when you're over the target. They don't literally worship me or something, but they're feeding me energy. I'm not feeding the trolls. I'm making them choke on their own sickness. I'm giving it back to them because I don't want their poison. So I give it back to them. I realize that sometimes it's just a waste of time and energy or something, but I'm not even barely doing anything, and I'm never really angry. A couple times I might get like really, because somebody showed up the other day. There's only 2 that I can remember. It's like some girl posted a comment and she was a bit off on something, and she was talking about something, the Illuminati. That's what she said, the word. I hate that word. But I like the word Illuminati, but I don't like the, see, if I was just telling somebody yesterday too, you could have a whole conversation, be talking about, you can use like 5,000 words and talk out loud. But if you try to, I gotta whisper the name, and you can just listen to my lips when I say Jesus. People from a block away will, what? What is he talking about, religion? The little crazy guy, Barrie, Ontario, I was watching Christopher Hitchens. It's all a whole conversation about atheism, and he said the word Jesus, and this little psycho freak came flying out of the kitchen, giving his finger like a nutcase, just giving the middle finger to the TV. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm like, what? You think you're watching religious stuff or something? I'm like, buddy, first of all, that's you're like a little nuts and that's offensive. Second of all, this is a fucking educational video about atheism, dipshit. So what, am I abusive to that guy or something? Like really, you're twisting everything. This is the behavior of someone that is disturbed. So like, who are you? Are you my ex? Are you a friend of hers that she's got in her little group? And then how do you misinterpret that video right from the start and then say, oh, I was just joking? No, you weren't. You're either a cop or an agent or one of these other trolls that are profiling me or trying to psychoanalyze this situation so that you can abuse me and try to set me up and fuck around. Or you're my ex or something. And then I stated that my ex actually has a friend who apparently she calls her mentor, who is in prison because he is a terrorist, And because he is like a vegan guy that is a vegan terrorist and goes around blowing shit up and burning it down. And she sent me text messages because I said I was going to the Tim Hortons one day and she said it should be burnt to the ground. I said, don't ever send me messages like this again. Because I might just do something like call a lawyer. And then she sent me another one saying, but I was going to the restaurant. Well, do they serve meat? What restaurant really doesn't serve meat other than like a vegetarian or vegan restaurant? Well, it should be burnt to the ground or blown. Don't say these things to me because it's not right, first of all. But the main thought that I want is like, great, because now I'm going to call the police or something. Not the fucking smartest thing to do. I don't give a crap in a lot of ways about this. This is, can you tell that I'm really not upset? But it's taken time out of my life and I'm tired, explaining these things or whatever. But you're wasting my time. Just go away. There's something wrong with you. And my defenses are telling me that you should be gone and that my life will be peaceful again. And I will go try. I just spoke to the police this morning and it was a wonderful female officer. She was extremely friendly. She wasn't really claiming. I said, are you really a police officer? Because you're absolutely an amazing person or something. And her name was Emily. She was like, well, I'm not really a full-time police officer or something, but I work for the police. I have a badge number, all this or something. I don't know. So she was a cop of some sort, but not like whatever. I don't know. And I'm like, and I started saying about the women, and I started saying about the RCMP, and I started saying about how they got up, a reputation for mistreating women and stuff. And I didn't get to the part because it didn't seem like right for this conversation, particularly today. But usually, I like to speak to women because they're more understanding in a lot of ways than some men in different levels. And if I mock Canadian men, 99.9% of the women will be like, oh, poor jeez, yeah. And you guys don't know it. And then I used the little line all the time about I don't think it's right that I said the police thing was a men only kind of club at some level or something, some part of it. And she was like, I agree. This was this morning. She was like, I agree. It's just that it's that way, and we'll try to change it and make the world a better place. I'm like, yeah. And one of the things that I usually say, but I didn't say this morning, because it didn't seem like this conversation in particular, was about how it's a men only kind of club, and they hate women in a lot of ways, and that they've tried to convince people that your menstrual cycle was caused by an angry God. And I know that I try to get women to get pissed off at that. Not that I'm saying it, but the concept in general. Let's do something then. Let's all make the world a better place. But that, as a man, pisses me off because it fucks up the rest of the world for everything else and everybody else. And there's even one of these guys, these two guys, the guy's getting like a little, whatever, peacock or something, and I'm gonna put him in his place on the food chain in a nice way with just my words today. And his buddy there was showing this girl who they don't believe in any God. They're not religious. One guy might have some kind of belief system or something, I don't know. But the other guy doesn't believe in any God. Was trying to show this girl who believes in this stuff and tries to tell me maybe I shouldn't talk about some of the things like science or biology because this girl's family is like ultra religious Christian trying to raise her that way. Let her make her own mind up. And what are you doing showing a plastic water bottle with duct tape wrapped around it and a cross drawn on it with an orange marker and telling her that your wife, who is supposed to be super religious, and you are the guy who told you doesn't believe, and your father was a Freemason, you told me yesterday, and you're trying to tell her that it's a bottle of holy water. You're the problem with the world, that kind of guy. Anyways, this video is long enough. I can hear people talking outside my window, and they like to listen to me if I'm talking, cause or whatever. And I thought I had a few moments of privacy to make a video, but now I got something else. I got things to do. This is a little long, and I gotta go. So just in general, but yeah, that's all. Just the way it is. Weird. Something wrong, I think, with you, and you should go away. So I'm going to keep on trying to find a new way to block your channel, and I expect you're the kind of person that will try to make another channel and come back. But yeah, just have a nice day.